over SK Telecom, but you are correct. This is the final game, if you will, of what started at MSI can be finished here. They were 1-1 apiece. Team WE. LPL has disappointed me at every single turn. Can you bring it back?
It's redemption time for us because we get into Champion Select. Team WE and SK Telecom T1. Rek'Sai and Thresh, first bans out here from WE. That will be Jason Zach in from SKT.
And thank God, finally someone is giving Rek'Sai some respect, and I feel like it has just been a massive thorn in the LPL side. Their vision control has been exposed, their read on the meta is being torn apart, and this should give them a bit more breathing room, but that's a lot of jungle bans.
Yeah, a lot of respect there towards Blank. I mean, he is 19-0 right now in the 2017 season. That's going to be Elise and Caitlyn to round out the rest of these bans. But what does that leave open? Of course, it's Galio, first pick by WE.
Likewise, there is the Corki. In the LPL in particular, Corki has been a good go-to into the Galio, but we'll see what Faker decides to pick up there. Now, Galio, of course, can be a flex between 957 and CA. More often than not, it's played up in that mid lane. I believe it's been played once in the top lane for LPL.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, it is still technically a flex, so SKT will wait a little bit before locking these ones in. It is Kalista and Rakan locked in very early.
And we've already seen how devastating this combo can be. I like to call it the yo-yo, but the fact of the matter is that you have the knock-up from the Fates call, you then have the instantaneous knock-up from Rakan, and then the charm on top of that. You feel like you get CC'd your entire health bar.
Same time, WE going to lock in the Lucian and the Braum, which is, again, technically a flex. I'm talking about the Lucian.
Yeah, Faker, of course, maybe getting a little bit of flashbacks from MSI. That would mean, though, that the Galio would have to go up into the top lane, and it really hasn't found a lot of success up there. Just ask the LMS. Their top lane Galio win rate is abysmal.
Definitely, but again, I have to talk about the fact that Xie, that was the champion. He got those multiple outplays and multiple 1v1 kills under tower against Faker, who locks in the Cassiopeia for himself.
I still feel like it's probably going to be Mystic taking the Lucian. He has picked it up relatively recently, and it was into a Kalista, so he sees the heavy skirmish all-in kill potential from Bang and Wolf, and he's just trying to match it. Braum, Lucian, that combo goes way back.
Meanwhile, SKT will take away the Cogmore towards Mystic, actually just again banning out his champion
They definitely think it's Lucian mid.
Hey man, I mean, if this is to tilt Faker and start camping, we're starting to crack his neck a little. Faker's getting ready for this one.
And I will say it indicates that the Galio might be going to the top lane with the Fiora ban. Yes, Fiora is also a high priority champion just on her own, but she has a great matchup across from Galio just because his, Falcon Punch is so telegraphed. Am I allowed to say that?
It's not called that, but I like it, and I'm going to steal that. So good stuff. Fiora going to be taken away from Huni here, the fight or flight player. Fanimal Feast. Meanwhile, Xayah taken away from Mystic, actually. So we were actually a bit curious over the Xayah earlier, saying that maybe not the best pick for us, but I guess it's been banned away from Mystic regardless.
This also really does force Mystic into a smaller champion pool. Really, the only other champion that he can reach for is going to be his Ashe, unless we see a massive throwback to maybe his Sivir or his Ezreal days.
Possibility. Ezreal been out of the meta for a long time, but that was his pick back in spring.
Jack's the final ban there, so again, trying to make room for 957 if he wants to take the Galio.
Gotta respect Huni just a little there. Back over to SKT, they do need a jungler, and Lee Sin's still open, so why not give that over to Blank? And Blank, very different beast now compared to a lot of what the international viewers saw before of him. So he's now more of that big carry player in the jungle who can really put the pain towards WE. And that's going to be the Rengar locking for Condi, the only guy in the LPL that I trust to bring the Rengar to the Rift.
Yeah, he's the only one who I feel is allowed to play it. But I want to quickly touch on Blank. So 19-0 so far for 2017. If you include his Kespa Cup games, he's technically 21-0. So this guy is on a massive tear right now.
Yeah, hell of a win streak. Rumble as well locked in. So hang on, question marks.
It's
that will be
Galio
ADC.
mid at ADC Lucian. I got you.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I was put for a bit of a loop because we have so many flex picks, technically triple flex picks. So the Lucian will go down into the ADC position now. Yeah, and then Rumble to top lane. Xie will get his hands on Galio.
And the last time we did see Mystic pick up the Lucian, he went for that late game build, so looking for the Infinity Edge. This composition scales very heavy. I know I'm still not used to how much damage Rumble is able to output from mid-game on, but it can be explosive. On the other side, SKT, they have just as many options, but so much hard CC, whereas I feel like Team WE really lacking that CC potential.
And Huni, well, you took away his Jax, but he's still going to pick up a champion that can go into those side lanes. And Huni will look to put the hurt down onto 957 with that Rumble. I think this is actually the last time I casted Hoon was back in EU, and that was ages ago. So it's nice to see him back on this stage. And I want to vote for Hooney, but damn, do I really want to see WE actually pick up a game here?
I don't know. You could definitely flip-flop. I wouldn't blame you, but we are going to see Coma and Home, definite old-time friends.
Yeah.
They're very buddy-buddy, walking almost hand-in-hand off the stage.
Nice to see, but still, both teams really want this win. This is technically the unofficial international best-of-3 ready to go.
And the scary thing for me is that there's such short range on Team WE's composition. Other than the equalizer, there's not a lot of reach back there to grab hold of Faker, to grab hold of Bang. You just have that mid-range Lucian, as well as kind of the front line of Galio.
Yeah, you're not filling me with a lot of confidence here, Frost. So what
I'm scared.
What do LPL have at their disposal?
Team WE and their ability to 5v5?
Alright, don't say friendship at me. Come on, that's a bit of a cop-out. Can the Rumble do anything? Can we get these equalizers down?
They have Condi on Rengar,
yeah.
So if there is going to be someone who can get into that backline and can quickly rip someone apart, it is the Rengar, but I feel like it's so dependent on getting ahead.
Alright, I'm feeling a little bit better now. Thank you very much, Frost. But we're about to get onto the Rift here. WE and SKT going at it once again to decide once and for all who is the better team coming out of the groups here in Rift Rivals 2017.
And it's not Peanut this time. It's the 19-0 for 2017 Blank. I'm almost afraid that Blank's undefeated win streak might be more important to SKT than the fact that there's really nothing on the line for them here.
Yeah, and if I've learned anything from No Game, No Life, then Blank never loses. And right now, if he's 21-0, that's definitely being true. And Bang, hey, he's got to use his own skin. I bet Faker's just using Classic as normal, though.
I don't know. I did see Faker get that pentakill the other day on his Syndra skin.
Oh, there you go.
Got to make that plug. If you want a pentakill, you too can get one with Faker's Syndra skin.
Just buy the skin. Buy now. But yeah. Faker, I think the last time he had like a different skin that wasn't Classic, it was a misclick. So nice to see him actually going towards some of the skins that are based after him. Meanwhile, in this bottom lane, Mystic and Zero. The analyst desk was definitely down on Zero, though I felt he had a pretty okay performance for a large portion of that game on the Rakan last time around.
And we kind of talk about pocket picks. Braum for Zero in particular, it actually was undefeated in 2014 until he ran into Samsung White in those finals. And that's the thing, a lot of people kind of forget about Zero. He's been out of the spotlight for so long, coming back naturally because Ben was having some of those visa problems coming into this tournament. But, I mean, he has the reputation and the credits to make a berth on an international stage like this with respect.
Looking at this mid lane, as Shea already takes a lot of damage from Faker. That being said, this will be a grudge match for Faker because he did get 1v1 killed multiple times by Shea last time these two met on the MSI stage just a couple months back.
But so far, all has been quiet. Faker very aggressive.
Oh man, level 2 punish. This is huge onto Shea. Gets the auto attack as well. Faker is, you need to calm down.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Shea lost control of the creep wave like that and then just got blown apart by level 2. And now level 2 advantage for Hooney as well.
Hooney's going in as well. All these solo lanes are just going in and gets the tactical sweep there onto 957. Already these lanes are giving it to WE.
And that's massive bad news bears for any LPL fan that might be left after this tournament, as they've now spotted out Condi, and here comes Blank.
He is relentless, and he is now a big invader. Condi, he's going to spot him, turns the corner still, and out of vision, jumps in, gets the smite down. All right, we've got that one, Condi. Good job. Blank has to go back now.
Yeah, trying to find the very edge of Rengar there to connect with the Q, so looking for the kill as opposed to the smite steal.
Oh, Blank is relentless. He just goes in once again, connects to the Q, jumps after. And luckily, there was good timing on that one. Almost a solo kill in the mid lane. Faker has to flash away. Shea flashes behind his tower.
That's terrifying. Two members of Team WE are forced off the map right there, blinking health bars. They do get the flash off of Faker, but you have to think that there's not really much that Team WE's composition can really punish as long as Faker plays to his warded side. You know, Rengar can't reach him at this point in the game.
Well, a bit of a bastion of hope there in the mid lane for Shea, since he is running the TP, gets there first, pushes in the minion wave, ready for this one to bounce, and it actually looks like he's going back to base once more. Bottom lane, double knock-up, Bang going in as well. Zero blocking up a lot of this damage, though, as the spears come down. Mystic will retreat, go back to farming these minions.
And I understand the mentality from Mystic and Zero there. They know that both junglers are tied up on the top side of the map. They know that everyone's just resetting, so they see what they can get, maybe an aggressive trade. But so far, all of these lanes seem to be kind of falling apart for WE at 4 minutes into the game. So slow it down, pump the brakes, take a breath, guys.
Yeah, I mean, so far there's been no first blood, though there is a CS advantage in top lane and mid lane, which doesn't signal good things necessarily for WE, though we are very early into this one. We will just try and calm it down if you're WE. Though, SKT, I mean, they can keep going ham. It's working out for them, clearly.
But here comes Condi trying to punish Faker's lack of flash. Does spot out the ward there, and like I said, Faker just needs to make sure that he plays to his warded side, and he can continue to be hyper-aggressive in this matchup because it is someone like a Rengar sitting in the jungle.
Right. And Condi, not going to waste time. Meanwhile, Xie, bit of a trade here, but again, just as punch.
Not. Oh, if that poison had connected, you would have walked down, what, 2 more E's? Xie
Still gets another one.
He's getting obliterated in these trades.
It's not fun. It's really not fun for Xie. Condi, maybe he can make a return to the mid lane. Faker, still no flash. Does have the cleanse, however, to get out of the root from the bowler if he throws it down. Blanky's managed to get in outside of that vision, and Xie doesn't know he's there. He's still waiting for a potential gank, and Xie, he's walking forwards. This doesn't look good if you're a WE fan. Comes in around Xie. Thankfully, he's no kick just yet at level 6, but good block out from Blank. Xie doesn't have the flash. He's getting chased out here. How deep will Faker go? First blood! The damage, and Blank doesn't even die.
Beautifully played from both Faker and Blank, and that was set up from the communication that the side was warded. We saw Blank's pathing, Splinter Cell underneath the control ward that Faker saw placed on top of his own, gets behind Xie and blows him up.
Oh man, Faker with that initial kill go back to base, picks up a bunch of things for his inventory. He has the tear, a refillable potion, and the Dark Seal. He's in such good shape now. And Xie, I mean, if you thought it was bad before, it's only going to get worse.
But Xie does have the potential where as he gets closer to that level 6, 5 now, that he can try to make a play into a side lane, whereas Faker took the cleanse, so doesn't have the teleport, is on Cassiopeia. He just wants to isolate this lane and continue to try to abuse Xie. Now, the tier, it's not going to be as hard as the ramp as he would have liked on different champions, but hold on.
Bottom lane, again, damage onto 0 is all it's going to be, but there's a hefty amount of damage. Bang jumps into range against the Ren back. Faker just chasing down Xie. He'll get a bit of a taunt there in the damage reduction. But Faker just keeps going in, getting all the damage he can eke out in this mid lane. And
the point is that Xie doesn't want to be here. He wants to get level 6 as soon as possible, shove the wave, and then try to get anywhere else. He can start teaming up with 957, does have his ultimate. In fact, Xie is starting to he's not going to roam, he's just trying to open up the pathway top, start to control this, we usually call the Silk Road the Dragon Pit, or behind the Dragon Pit. Try to open up gank past top.
For now, Huni's pretty much just winning this 1v1 by himself as Faker continues to put the hurt down onto Xie. You can see a 2-wave advantage to Huni up there. Meanwhile, Faker is sitting pretty on his own 2-wave advantage.
Literally nothing Xie can do. He's sitting on cloth armor. Excuse me, not cloth armor. MR, null cloak.
That's the one. That's the Badger. And if you look later into the game, when do WE try to strike back? Because you talked to me about Condi. What else can we see with him? Speaking of which, you can see his counterpart invading onto Condi right now.
Speaking of strike back, this Q will connect to Rengar.
This red buff away. Blank's going to go in on this one. Does he have any support? He may not need it. He's got the level 6 ready to go. Condi has to use the Thrill of the Hunt.
And Xie is still level 5, so there's no protection coming from the mid lane. SKT are just overwhelming Team WE now.
Blank, somehow he connects it. He's not going to jump in on this one. Doesn't necessarily want to give a kill over to Mystic.
Zero's just sitting with his finger on the flash button. He's like, Blank, if I go down, you're coming with me.
I'm taking you with me. All right, Blank. He still wants to kill into the bottom lane. Nice knock up.
Rumble.
Good dodge from Mystic. Rumble's coming down to the bottom lane. Lands the equalizer. Good equalizer. Blank, can he get out? Flashes over the wall. 957. He wants in, though. He wants a kill. Wolf jumps back, and this front line should be enough for them. 0. Okay. Respects. Flash comes out. SKT burn a lot of summoners.
And that was the last bastion of hope for Team WE and their fans. They had the equalizer. It was still going to be very strong, but now SKT, they expertly disengage and they absorb a lot of resources from WE. Meanwhile, Huni sitting up here, free XP, free CS. Now you don't have to deal with the teleport, the equalizer. Team WE are defanged for 5-7 minutes.
Definitely just have to try and, scale up here for Team WE. It's going to take a while. And just try and stop the bleeding because they haven't even cauterized the wounds yet. And Xie going back to base once again. 20 CS lead now to Faker.
The bright side. He is level 6. We made it, boys.
Oh, yeah. Silver linings. Absolutely love it.
And look at this big wave. It's about to get pushed into him.
I'll take everything I can for us.
Keep digging for that silver lining because it is disastrous
we
right
need
now.
to dig up at this point. I don't want to dig down any further. Pretty much hit rock bottom. How's top lane doing? Oh, not great. How's bot lane doing? Mystic, you got anything for me? Well, he's about equal CS with Banks. So that's good. It looks like he's going for the Blade of the Ruin King build in this one versus going for the crit. So he's looking towards the mid game versus going for that hyper late game.
And that's interesting. Again, like I said, the last time we saw Mystic pick up the Lucian, he did look for that late game scaling build, had the eye edge, but Condi, they don't have the teleport, so he's going to have to go to Rumble here. Equalizer is almost back up.
It's got a few seconds until ultimate comes up for Condi. He gets through the vision as that minion dies, so he's not been seen yet by Huni, though the wave is pushing.
And you're still dealing with a wave that's pushing into Camille, the fact that she has hookshot and has her flash available. So unless this is played absolutely perfect by Condi and 957, I don't know how much there is available here.
Well, the call has been made to actually try and make this one happen. It's a big investment of time. He's already been here for, what, 30, 40 seconds.
Here they
Jumps
go.
Immediately onto Huni, hookshot, back behind the tower, and he's already gone.
Of course, they do have pressure, can get some chip damage on the structure, but here comes Blank. Do SKT feel confident enough with Faker rotating up? Yep.
Well, Faker, yeah, as you said, was rotating. Xie would be quite a long way away, even from getting his hero's entrance down. And Huni is pretty much defending this one by himself. Blank's there behind him just in case 957 and Condi are feeling spicy, want to go for the gank. And Faker is running Xie down in the mid lane. Having to use the taunt just for the damage reduction does not feel great. And Faker, absolute control. And I'm just thinking, like, what do WE do?
They're trying to pull the trigger right now, so Xie's been forced out of the lane, but he's just trying to get here for the dive. Here they go.
Hero's entrance comes down. Huni and Blank have already run away. Can Condi get in there? Equalizer down onto Huni, but he saved his flash from the previous engagement, and he simply walks away.
Best case scenario for Team WE. They see that Faker is still in the mid lane. He's now disappeared. Small window to get out.
Oh, Huni is going deep. Pops the ultimate. The ultimatum comes out, but it's for himself. He drops. 957, one more tower shot. Unfortunately. Oh, the shield, the scrap shield for the save, and the tower goes down.
But Faker is still here. He's going to get something off of this.
There is a snake in the grass, and he locks up Xie. Blank coming in from around the side, connects to the Q, and he's actually going to sacrifice himself. Maybe gets the kill onto Blank, but not going to happen, and it will be the return kill.
But that's still 2 kills in the back pocket of Faker is now bottom. Probably not going to get anything there. Again, good maneuver from Team WE. The rest of the map was bleeding out, particularly in that mid lane. She understands his position. Just shove the wave and try to beat Faker to a side lane.
Hey, at the very least, now the top farm has been equalized, and 957 with a kill, plus the top tower went down for first blood tower, so that's going to be good, right, Frosk?
Could be. They do have teleport also back up, so waiting on that equalizer. We talked about how Team WE would probably be defanged for the duration of that teleport timer. They made the best of a bad situation and kind of slowly crawled back into this game.
I feel like the Demon King has definitely just woken up in this game. He's 2-0, has a Rod of Ages at what, 11, 12 minutes, and has the tier early.
The point is to not fight near the Demon King, but here we go.
Engage in the bottom lane, knock up as well. The charm comes into 0, and also
Huni.
the ADC. Huni coming down, but still the Fate's Call comes up, and it's still equal, but now Huni looking to equalize this one. He's chasing down 0, he dies in the 2v2, and the stun comes up onto Mystic. He dashes away, pops the culling. SKC probably going to be happy with this just one kill.
And I think we're over, but Blink should be making a rotation bottom. Condi also trying to help out Mystic. He can't stay there without support. They will just dive him and kill him.
Yeah, Condi really needs to stick around. I mean, he's taking Crooks right now.
Mystic, this is so brave.
Yeah, I think the fact that Mystic is staying up there and sitting at the tower says to SKT, maybe the jungler's around, though it doesn't really matter. They're going for the dragon on top of that. So regardless of what SKT do, they're going to get an advantage, and it is the first dragon of the game in the form of the Mountain Dragon.
But that's still betting that Blank and Faker are going to be on the dragon as opposed to making their way down there. Team WE have not had vision control of that river.
957 trying to take away the red buff. It would be a nice little scrap for him, a consolation prize as it were in this one. Huni waiting over the wall. He's not going to give this one without a fight. 957 just secure it. We'll have to flash over the wall. Precision Protocol sends him packing. And Herald also just slams against the wall.
And the other thing about kind of going towards that dragon is that that was, again, the bastion of hope for Team WE. They want to fight around the equalizer, which means that they want to fight around monster objectives like the Mountain Dragon. With no reason for SKT to be in that area, they can actually stall out a lot of the power of 957. You know, he's going to get level 11 soon, have 2 ticks in the ultimate, and he's not really going to have anywhere to use it freely.
Wolf just patrolling the river at this point in time, placing down that vision, just trying to consolidate the advantage that SKT has in this game so far. But the goal total, pretty even right now, feeling pretty good for WE. Have that first tower still. And first dragon to SKT and Inferno on the horizon. We'll see what that turns into later, though it seems like we're going back to normality, everyone going through the motions, back to lanes, farming up.
But still, there's these big juggled windows of someone has a teleport, someone doesn't have a TP, which is why Mystic is so confident to do this.
Good damage from Mystic. Bang turns up though and it's like, what do you say about Wolf? Here comes the Fate's Call. May just send him back home because Connie's jumping in. Actually interrupts the jump coming in, looking for the knockup. He's just kicked into the tower, completely outplayed by Blank. In comes the TP out from 957. They want to go for this fight. Draws the line. Everyone's going to have to retreat over that from SKT. 957. Is he going to go any deeper? Seems like not.
Faker's behind
Q connecting onto Mystic. Might be the go button for Blank and Faker, the tag team. But for now, it is just going to be the control wards and the defense of the bottom lane tower.
Condi completely outplayed there, just gets absolutely obliterated. And again, another teleport leaves Huni on an island. Free XP, free gold, and a free tower.
And again, just another advantage over to SKT. No, we are just pausing for a second because Blank is waiting in this bush. You see Xie going back, connects the Q, goes in very deep. Does he have the rest of the team there to save and taking a lot of damage, but WE do not want to commit on this one. Faker, he's still on the bottom side. The flash, the ultimate. In comes the hero's entrance as well. Interrupted from Xie. And Wolf is just all over this bottom team. Renders well for the kill over to Bang. 2 more kills to SKT.
And so cleanly executed on that dive. Just a beautiful thing to watch when SKT are all moving together like that. And look at how confident they are to continue to stick around and chip away there. Meanwhile, like I said, Huni, free tower, continuing to shove top.
Absolutely getting everything in this one. 957, unable to visit the top lane right now. He's pretty much stuck in bot. He'll go back to base now, but Konzi was having to be the band-aid, and Huni was just pushing away in his happy place in top lane, pushing away.
And frankly, a lot of this is on the back of Xie. You know, he's not that big, tanky Galio that he needs to be at this point in the game. Normally, you shouldn't be able to free dive a team like that when they have multiple members there, when they have a Galio, but he's just barely sitting on a Spectre's Cal. He had a Bomby Cinder, decided to sell it, and he's like trying to cobble together some form of resistance.
Can this potentially be a kill here? Zero coming in from around the side. Connects to Winter's Bite. She is going to follow up as well. Lands the taunt. Faker cleanses out of it. No flash, but potentially able to turn this one around. No petrifying gaze either, though Blank here to back him up. Wolf from the bottom side. Condi sees him and says him dead in the eyes. He's like, maybe not. Maybe this isn't the engage I want.
Eating up multiple resources, though. I feel like Faker pulling a bit of a crown there where you just throw so many ultimates at him. And he's just like, cleanse, I'm fine.
Fate's Call used by Bang. Going to chase after up. There's an AD carrying the bottom lane, but the defense from Zero comes up the Unbreakable. Condi coming in from the backside, but he doesn't have the ultimate. Blank's also here to defend, but Wolf just evaporates. Mystic will get the kill there with the assistance of Xie.
But again, it's about how many resources they're using to pick up these kills. Yeah, they might be able to translate it into a tower, especially as SKT aren't moving anywhere to counteract it, but that was a teleport, that was an ultimate, and it was just Wolf.
Plus the tower here, so now 2 towers to 1 overall for WE. What else SKT doing though? Because you gotta know that Huni's pressuring the top lane, Faker's pushing in the mid, and Blank is even aggressing for this deep vision. So SKT, yes, they lose something in the bottom side, but they're always taking something in the rest of the map.
Or at least setting themselves up for it. So getting decent damage on this mid lane. Good rotation from Huni as he comes around the corner. Maybe not.
Yeah, perhaps not on this one. Xie charging up the taunt, the flash as well, lands it onto 2 players, but that's a big stun down onto Mystic, the damage dealer. Wolf jumping in there as well, looking for the grand entrance, though he is, kind of up quick without a paddle. In comes the equalizer, being chased down. Everyone tries to skirt around it. Wolf somehow still alive. Huni locking them down on the front lines. Grounded once again by Faker. No kills just yet. Mid tower being sieged now by WE.
The fadeaway heal right there, and unfortunately Bang is looking for a flank, but he doesn't have Fate's Call, flash, or heal. I think he's going to have to disengage from that one.
Yeah, Callista's not a great flanking champion.
Yeah, they stabilize there.
And that's it in the end. 2 to 6 in total, though 3 of those kills are on Faker. I think we can firmly say now that he's gotten his revenge. She is already dead. You can stop just kicking him now. 173 farm compared to 99. 3 kills over his opponent. And Xie, all he has to his name is that Abyssal Mask.
It just has to be that meat shield, though. So 957, level 11, has the strong equalizer. The Infernal Dragon will be coming up in 18 seconds now. So Team WE just need to get their ducks in a row. Are they confident to fight here? Use the Galley ultimate, use that equalizer, or are they going to give away this valuable dragon?
Xie back to the bottom side. Has no TP. 957 is the one who will be on the furthest side, or farthest side rather, in the top Meanwhile, this next dragon is live, so it will be a contention point over this debate.
I mean, the other option that Team WE have is if they feel that they haven't gotten here close enough, if they've lost too much control of the vision, they could just turn towards the Rift Herald. The problem is that SKT can do this so easily with minimal resources, you know, just Kalista, just Lee Sin, and Huni's got full control of the top side, so that Team WE feel like they're just being, you know, cornered or caged on their map. They really can't overreach anywhere.
They're being shepherded around the map. I mean, they can't go anywhere they particularly want to.
That was a flank from Huni.
Blank right now doesn't want to go in, doesn't connect the Q. Though Faker's coming in from the bot side, he's ripping apart Condi. Airborne goes Condi, and Zero just can't do anything to assist. In comes Huni as well, locks him in the ultimatum, trying to buy a bit of room right here is GA. Just back to the rest of the team with the Justice Punch, buying more time, stopping Faker, but down goes Zero. Huni with the assassination, Blank goes deep, big kick, removes the AD carry. 3 more kills SKT, and they are not done. Huni wants another one, but he takes the tower down instead.
And that was just amazing to watch. Blank right there, the flashy moves on the Lee Sin, goes for the deep kick, kicks Mystic out of position into his death, and just slides right out.
I can't believe he's still alive. Blank is an absolute madman. And he has changed so much since the last time many people saw him on the international stage, and this guy is absolutely insane. He could be, what, 22-0 now in the 2017 season? There's a reason this guy does not lose.
He's just grown up with SKT, and 20-0 in 2017. The 21 is the 2 Kesper Cups.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Let's keep his record straight.
Okay, got to knock those 2 off. There you go.
Don't inflate his ego too much, Balls.
He's already got 19 wins.
Okay, we were talking about how Team W are just getting shepherded around this map, and they really can't overreach anywhere. Huni gets a deep teleport behind them, and hello, Condi. Goodbye, Condi. You're not even going to get your ultimate off before we pop you like a balloon. Now, Galio is going to go up for the ultimate. He's not going to hit anyone. A good fate's call to disengage. Excuse me. Got bang on the very tip there. But here comes Blank. And this is just sick to watch. Gets behind the Lucian, kicks him into the Galio, and then ward sweeps out to the side.
It's just almost too clean. And Huni, final hit on the tower, breaks down the mid tower as well, 10-2. And it was looking maybe salvageable from WE for a good amount of time, but now 5,000 gold behind, and SKT just taking fight after fight.
I mean, I'm hesitant to even say it was salvageable at any point. They were losing naturally in their lanes, mid lane in particular, bot lane also taking kind of wonky trades. The one good place for them was when Rumble was using those teleports, but 957 can't be everywhere. And while he's been trying to clean up the rest of his map, Huni is just getting free EXP, free gold, and chunking out like that.
Condi jumps in. He wants to try and find his pick. I mean, there's a blast cone around the wall, and Huni's going to take it to victory. Fancy footwork with the hook shot.
Definitely a Baron.
That's just going to go down. I mean, what can WE do? Huni is enough of a threat by himself to stop all of them from approaching. Baron down at 22 minutes to SKT. 957 has to jump away from Huni. Rest of the team coming in. Bang with the face core as well, looking to chase down WE. They're in a choke point, and at least 2 people are going to die here. 957 first casualty. Down goes Zero. And the numbers are deleted from WE.
I mean, it's Kalista, Cassiopeia, Mountain Drake, and Infernal. You leave them alone for 30 seconds on the Baron, and it's done. But the waves are prepped in time. Huni's had so much pressure up here, so they walk through the Baron, through the team fight, through the tower. And this is the defining feature of SKT.
And Condi tries to save his ally, GA, but he's just deleted in the mid lane. Huni and Blank ramming it down that mid. Pretty much an open mid to the stage of that's just on the inhib. 22 minutes. Casual game for SKT.
But it's the fact that...
Well, that's all of his health. Huni jumps in. Going to be rooting down Huni again, so he doesn't get the kills at the very least, but he still survives somehow. And Wolf destroys the inhibitor on the flip side.
Someone needs to take care of that in the top lane.
Yeah, someone needs to address it, but SKT go back to base, nothing else here for them, as they've already destroyed the inhibitor.
But it's the fact that when SKT go to sink their fangs into you, everything has been set up. So if you do make that mistake, they're so efficient in maximizing the punishment, because it's not just the team fight, and it's not just the Baron, it's the fact that all of the waves are pushed up, that they already have the deep vision, that they've understood when to pull Huni and when he can stay up in the top, so he's built up this massive CS advantage. They're firing on all cylinders, and Team WE, we're already in the ground.
Pretty much. It's like, can we just shove them 6 feet under at this point? Says SKT. They're what? Over 10,000 gold ahead of WE at 23 minutes. In comes Bang.
That moment.
Just let him live.
Wink
here comes Shie. Knocks him airborne, but Mystic doesn't really want to go in this one. 957 also arrives, lays down the red carpet. Wolf jumps in, looks for the taunt, is taunted himself. Zero Following after as well, Huni joins the fight, and everybody just invited to the bouncy castle. Bang gets the kill onto Zero. Mystic punts out, but will not get out. Xie in the pit as well. Everybody dies in the last pit. And Wolf, that's the clean ace. The triple kill to Bang.
Okay, Bang. Okay. Literally ran from across map. He's like, I bet I can 1v1 this. It's not a 1v1. But
Definitely not.
Everyone collapses down. The gold lead speaks for itself. That's ballooned well over 10K, and SKT just styled on Team WE.
You thought 27 minutes was fast against the Flash Wolves. We'll make it less than a 25-minute win in this one, up against WE. And the unofficial best of 3 definitely won, as SKT ran the final nail in the coffin against WE.
And the final nail in the coffin for the LPL. I said at the beginning of this tournament that there are no excuses. It is nut up or shut up time for the LPL. They brought their 4 best teams, and every single one has been systematically destroyed, torn apart. And LCK, no surprise, they still reign supreme.
Absolute annihilation of WE. And honestly, the LPL region in group stages, they're heading in tomorrow as their 3rd seed, and that has been cemented. SKT literally salt on the wound right here as they go for their handshakes. And it would have been good to reclaim a win here for WE, but at the very least, best of 5.
I mean, the only saving grace is that SKT can't just walk away with the tournament. We won't see them tomorrow. We will see them in the finals. They guaranteed their spot relatively early in this group stage. But with how strong Korea is looking collectively, even the winner LMS or LPL tomorrow, I don't know if they stand a chance.
Absolutely insane, and you saw Faker there as well. The Demon King was completely unleashed on the Rift, and he definitely showed Xie in that one, so he didn't get the Lucian in the mid lane. Last time, all those solo kills made a little bit angry. He had to step off the throne for a second to put Xie back down, but it was just exceptional play across the board, what you expect from a world-class team.
He certainly put Xie in his place, and we didn't even see the, the neck pop from Faker when you know it's about to get real, but
yeah.
That was a dominating performance from minute 1 in that Cassiopeia. He got the level 2 advantage, and he just punished Galio.
Well, that's going to do it from us here on the Disco. Thank you very much for watching from us, but we're going to send it back over to the analyst desk to close out the day.
Thank you very much, Pulse. Thought you were actually just going to close out the show without us being able to actually get our words in, which I'm very glad you didn't, because we've basically got a replay of highlights of basically Blank being incredibly good.
And the fun thing is, we're at this tournament where there isn't Worlds implications. We wondered how would KT, SKT, all the Korean teams approach the tournament. I feel like everyone has been a little bit different. Now 2 Korean teams have dropped games. Samsung and SKT have not. But the one thing you can say, against tough opposition, the top team from LMS and the top team from the LPL, it's like the Harlem Globetrotters when you watch SK Telecom.
Yep.
They're having a day out. They're having fun doing it. They're showing new picks. They're showing innovation. Yeah. They're just doing everything on the Rift at the same time.
They're just so good, and it's crazy to watch that game. The biggest thing for me, and I'll say this as an LPL caster as well, I hope the WE lost that in 23 minutes and they sit back and actually feel humbled by that, because they just got blasted out of the water and they still have the rest of the LPL split. So I'm actually, in a way, partly happy that this happened now, not during Worlds.
Yeah, bring them down a peg to prepare them, make sure that they stay humble moving into the next round. Is that the idea?
I think that's cool, because now you see the best. Now you know where you have to get, and you don't have to find that out at the last where you're like, oh crap, I didn't win Worlds then, I guess. Yeah. Now you have a refresher in the middle of a split where you still have patches and time to adapt. So it's a different way to think about things, but with SKT being on another level from Korea and also the other regions. I mean, we got the most emphatic, resounding information about where SKT stand in their 2 games.
And that's 2 Kalista Rakan victories as well. If we have a look back at the draft, it was very creative out of WE. I liked it. They managed to pick up the Galio with a good ban phase coming in there for them, but then going straight into that. Lucian, we didn't quite know where it was going to go. Picked alongside the Braum, which has always been a good lane, but Rusty, is this something that they've done before? Like, is Lucian still a bottom lane AD carry here in the LPL?
So part of me still feels like this is Mystic and Zero just picking Braum Lucian, having the 2v2 that they're successful with, right? Just being comfortable within themselves. At the same time, can be flex mid lane. We know that's a possibility. And I just had that inkling feeling that it could also go towards the top lane if it came to it. But they're on blue side, so it was very unlikely that we'd see something like that against Huni, giving him the last pick opportunities there. So honestly, just picking comfort for themselves in the draft, saying that we're going to be going against the best team here, and we're going to give it our best with these champions. But I don't like the champions personally. That's just how it played out. That's what they chose. They're welcome to choose what they'd like.
Yeah, and the Galio pick, you're going to have to pick it up, but it's one of those moments where if you pick it up, you know you're going to have a really tough mid lane matchup, and so you have to be able to get it going by roaming outwards, by making plays towards the top side of the map, by making plays towards the bottom side of the map. It felt like when they went for it, SKT was still prepared.
And just a small point to finish up the pick ban draft. Interesting point is that Cassio does very competitive into Galio and Lucian, so honestly, kind of got value with a single pick on both the potential options for a mid lane. I wasn't really seeing the Galio or Lucian, but one of them was going to be going mid lane, so the flexes weren't going to continue coming. Lucian did some damage, but you might be interested to find the largest damage dealer. It was pretty much team effort across the side for SKT, was Camille.
And when it's such a short game like this as well, minutes in the 20s for SKT's victory, Huni picking up that much damage, a lot of it was actually in team fights as well. It's not like he was just wailing on a Mundo or something towards the top side of the map, this like sack of meat that's just going to take the abuse. It's not that. It's him getting in amongst it and actually doing the damage in these fights.
Yeah, and I think the reason why Huni was so open to do what he can was simply because the jungle matchup, Blank had an incredible performance on the Lee Sin. We saw Rengar coming up. I know we already talked about the pick ban heaps, but the Rengar could not do very much. This was a good gank or less than an opportunity. Look for a dive coming from Lee Sin. Sure, Galio was already there, but he was ready to match.
And Cassio was also in position to look for the dive. Now Faker, for once, doesn't hit the Flash Petrifying Gaze. We thought there might be cleanup, but they're tanking the turret so expertly, and bang, he's free hitting.
Exactly, Bang and Wolf throughout all of this. Again, the Rakan-Kalista duo, they've proven throughout all of this game they have absolute mastery of the 2v2. The fact that Wolf's able to go forwards and be the engaged tool, just get pulled back in and saved, unlocks Rakan's potential as a champion, especially in a team that's really good and excels at their team fighting.
Yeah, and I feel like picking up Rakan at the same time, this champion has just been so good for these players that are able to get the engages going on. We know that Wolf has always been a fantastic Alistair player. He's been able to get things started for his team, often just sacrificing himself, and you can see him nipping around this fight as well. SKT were just everywhere, but this one was all about Blank.
The mechanics of this particular fight was so fun to track, seeing a team in full flight. Watch for Blank, who actually goes for a super aggressive resonating strike. Flash kick knocks up the Lucian as well. The crowd can't help but cheer. Such was the delight that we see. And it's crazy to think that this is on Lee Sin. This was the champion that Peanut made his own, one of the big run of his own. And now Blank's is a better Lee Sin than even his teammate Peanut.
Yeah, and you can just see it there, Rengar getting caught out. It was one of those moments where Blank's Lee Sin, the unbeatable, or at least this split specifically, came out and he had such a stronger performance going up against him.
And I mean, Rusty, the word you used when you were describing this and his Lee Sin play was cerebral, and I think you're right on the money.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that, so again, good Lee Sins, great Lee Sins, you can tell the small details separate them with champions like this. Ward hopping out instead of using it to make the kick, or flash kicking for the fact that it will hit to ward hop out. At the same time, you think Huni as well with his team fighting was off killing the support. So they're all individually making their plays, and to be able to win a team fight when every individual is doing these small details just adds up time and again.
Yeah. And it adds up to 1-0 and 12 for Blank at the same time. So his 20th victory in a row. He doesn't even die.
And that's the even bigger addition, right? The 20. The fact that he's hit 20 competitive games. He may not start every game, but he could go higher than this. They're going to make a deep run at Worlds. I challenge you to find me someone who would bet on that. Who knows what the number might be by the end of the year.
Yeah, just could be ridiculous, but we'll see. Him and Untara have looked fantastic. Untara, unfortunately, not at this tournament, but Huni has been popping off. I have a feeling that he is certainly here to prove himself as the #1 top laner for SKT, like he has been in the past, but Untara was really starting to get ahead of him, and Huni has been another standout player here, hopping back on these carries, and the Camille, another one that looked brilliant.
And, you know, when he started off on SKT, he was on the Maokai duty. He was on the Poppy duty. People say, okay, they've got him in line. This season, it's not about the tanks. That's why he gets to play the carries. He comes to this tournament, plays Jackson Camille, right in the wheelhouse of Huni. So he's getting the flexibility now. The performances need to pile up to really demand a spot over Untara, but he's getting there.
Yeah, he's doing the very best that he can. And, of course, his Rumble looking fantastic. Untara's as well. But we do have an interview with Blank, so let's throw it over to Wendy for some translation.
Hello Hello everyone. Thank you for watching the 2017 Rift Rivals. So now we have SKT's top laner Huni. Great cheers from the crowd. So, like a super powerful team like SKT, which team do you think is the biggest threat to SKT?
네, 아직 두 판밖에 저희가 해보지 않기 때문에 아직까지는 잘 모르겠고요. 아직 초반부인 만큼 또 주요 무대는 이제 준결승과 결승이 될 것 같기 때문에 아직까지는 잘 모르겠어요. 그런데 LCK 팀이 아직까지는 좀 강한 것 같다고 생각합니다.
So we've only played 2 matches in the tournament, so he doesn't really know. So the focus is tomorrow and last day.
So
it is a very humble answer and is very confident too. So the Camille matchup. So the early game Camille was sort of counted.
럼블이 카밀 카운터 정도로 불리는데 그거에 대해 어떻게 생각하시는지 말씀해 주세요.
일단 럼블 카밀 할 때 확실히 럼블이 처음에 주도권을 잡고 있고요. 그 이후로도 조금 더 럼블이 유리한 상황이 많은데 근데 좀 가면 갈수록 이제 정글러와 함께 궁극기 활용이라든지 아니면 또 나중에 스플릿 할 때 1대1이 카밀한테 또 유리한 점이 많거든요. 그래서 픽하게 되었습니다.
因为就是蓝宝出席的确是比对卡米尔好，但是越来越
So
后
Rumble
期卡
does
米尔
counter
的
Camille.
分推能力、单挑能力都会超越蓝宝，才
However,
会选到
Camille
卡米尔
does
这个
have
角
a
色。
stronger 1v1. And yes, we did see that Huni's Camille did have a very fast supporting team fights.
이제 그 후반에 한번 카밀 궁으로 이제 바텀 듀오를 구해주셨는데 그때 바텀 조합 거기 있는 거를 발견하고 간 건지 궁금하다고 합니다.
네, 그 전에 뱅 선수가 이제 칼리스타로 이제 루시안 1대1 상황이 나왔었는데 상대 팀의 반격이 좀 거세더라고요. 그래가지고 제가 빨리 이건 지원을 가서 그 싸움이 길어질 것 같다 해서 바로 지원을 가게 됐는데 운 좋게도 4대5 싸움을 이기게 된 것 같아요.
他说一开始 Bang 有跟他们说他要跟露西恩单挑，但是
So at first
发现没
Bang
那
did
么
tell
顺
them
利，
that
他
he wants
听
the
到之后
1v1
快点
Lucian.
去赶上去，然后就是运气
However,
好
when
一点，
team
然
fight
后可以
started,
打
he
赢这
did
个
say
位
that
战
let's all go up, go up.
刚刚的确是神救援。那我再问一下早期一点的战况了。在10分钟的时候，其实有一波是塔下的3打2是
So at 10 minutes, there was a 3v2 at tower.
非常的勇敢的冲出去打。
So you were very confident
晚晚的过来收头。
and going up.
是认为他好像是想要故意留一个人头给 Faker。当下状况是这样吗？
So it did seem that you wanted to give the kill to Faker. Was it like that?
이제 3명을 상대로 뛰쳐나가면서 상대를 했는데 그때 그 뛰쳐나간 상황이 페이커 선수에게 킬을 양보하기 위해서 한 행동인지 궁금하다고 합니다.
일단 들어간 거 자체로는 좀 제 계산으로는 문제가 없었다고 생각했는데 이제 스킬 연계가 좀 잘못되면서 좀 길어져서 그렇게 된 것 같아요. 근데 이제 페이커 선수가 이제 그 후에 백업 오면 상황은 좋아질 것 같다. 왜냐면 상대는 궁극기들이 다 빠진 상태였고 저희는 아직 궁극기를 가지고 있던 상태이기 때문에 근데 좀 스킬 연계가 아쉬웠던 것 같아요. 딱히 킬을 주려 했던 건 아니고 그냥 이길 수 있었던 것 같은 싸움이었습니다.
他那个时候觉得就是对他来说就觉得可以打，并不是说
So at that
要
moment
让
he
头给
think that we
Faker，
could
但是
fight.
那个时候就是没有想到有一点失误，所以之后
He
发现
didn't think
Faker 来的
about
时候，
the
对面其实
mistakes.
大招都没了，所以他发现 Faker 应
And
该
so
可
when
以
he
收
saw
头，所以觉得
Faker
安心。
and
是的，
Faker couldn't make the kill, so he was very satisfied.
因为明天 SKT 其实休息一整天的，有没有什么
So tomorrow SKT would be resting. So how do you feel about that?
팀원적으로 어디 뭐 계획은 없는지 말씀해 주시겠어요?
아직까지는 계획이 없고요. 이제 아마 연습하게 될 것 같기도 한데 그리고 오늘 아마 뭐 맛있는 거 먹으러 가지 않을까요? 그게 다일 것 같습니다.
他到现在还没什么计划，应该是在团练吧。但是
So he doesn't really have any plans for tomorrow. Probably just training and then eating.
SKT 传了非常多好吃的食物照片。那胡你自己
So SKT does upload a lot of yummy food.
SKT가 많은 것들을 먹으러 다니면서 사실 많이 올리셨는데 그 중에 되게 마음에 들어 하시는 거 있으신지 말씀해 주시겠어요?
여기 와서 인상 깊게 먹었던 것들 한 우육면, 뭐 샤오롱바오, 뭐 샤오마이, 뭐 볶음밥 막 이런 정도 있는 것 같습니다.
Sounds like Hooney likes a lot of Chinese food. So like 小笼包、烧麦、there's dim sums.
还蛮多的耶。
A lot of the Chinese delis.
很无敌。那最后我们请Hooney分享一下，就是这次来参加亚洲对抗赛的心情吧。
So can you please share your feelings at the Rift Rivals tournament?
아직 2경기밖에 안 해가지고 많이 아는 것 같은데 그래도 벌써 결승전을 임해야 되는 상황이 왔는데 더 좋은 모습을 보여드리도록 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
虽然除了才打两场比赛而已，但是现在面临了决赛。
Although there was only 2 matches, however there is the finals. I will try my best. Thank you everyone. So let's thank Hooney and congratulations for the win. Let's look at the results.
Thank you very much, Wendy. And Hooney, I like that the interview got to the point where we're discussing Hooney's food preferences, and he said a few things. I could recognize it. I was like, oh, it reminds me of home. Pops, did you get some of the same vibes?
I heard bokkeumbap, which I know means fried rice, so that got me excited. We've got a couple places we've lined up when we get back to Korea, for sure.
Yep,
I
there is
mean,
a list.
when there's a match like that, you don't really need to delve deep into strategy. It was one of those matches where it kind of played itself. By the end, every viewer was kind of getting the same thing. What was your favorite outplay? What was your favorite sick interaction? It wasn't really about the draft or anything like that. So given this sort of game, talk about the food pictures. That's just fine.
Yeah, certainly makes some sense. And speaking of favorite matches, we are going to have a look at how the day went today. Because, of course, we had some exciting ones, starting off with MVP finding redemption against Marchi 17 in a game where MVP actually looked fantastic.
Interestingly enough, a lot of the rest of these as well, don't be fooled, it's not all blue side victories. KT chose red, I believe the rest have also shifted here and there. It looks like Korea are the only region that seems to prefer that red side.
Yeah, but ultimately it was LMS coming out with the major victories. J-Team, Flash Wolves, AHQ, one after another taking down EDG, WE, KT, Titans after Titans.
And it's also simple math that China did not pick up any victories today. 0-4 on the day, so starting the day on 2 wins, ending the series, or at least the group stage on 2 wins, and coming in 3rd seed to the LMS.
Yep, it's unfortunate. It does mean that it is going to be LMS taking that side selection to start things off tomorrow in our semi-final. LCK with their 6 victories. Unfortunately, KT not able to make it a perfect run, and MVP yesterday also contributing to that. However, they are going to be waiting for that match on Sunday in the final, and LPL versus LMS could be very interesting tomorrow. It looks like LMS should be able to take it theoretically looking at today's results, but LPL's always been a team that can turn it around.
Yeah, LPL can definitely still bounce back. You're looking towards their coaching staff, and of course the format for this is the most exciting thing overall, because honestly, the matchups we saw 4th, 1st, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, 1st, that all shifts now throughout the rest of this because you don't know who you're versing.
Yep. And what is going to be the strategy here as far as coaches putting in certain teams? If you were put your coaching hats on now, gentlemen. Of course, Raz, he's had one of these hats before.
That's true.
Who are you going to be putting in, Raz? If you were trying to work out which LMS team to put in first, who would it be?
It would all be about, let's see, getting the most out of the first set. Like, for instance, reading your opponent, getting, like, what are their drafting strategies? What have they been coming out with? So sending out your weakest team. In this instance, it would be AHQ. So you can get out, well, for instance, maybe we can put out West, or maybe we can sneak in a win based off whatever composition we're running out with, like Casio and Jinx. They won't be able to read us because we were already running this composition. Just see what they are running with. So for the next sets, you have some VODs to work
I actually have Harmony with you. If I was the LMS, I would also choose AHQ because they showed us a Ziv-focused comp, then they showed us an ARN-focused comp. So I feel like they've shown 2 very different things. They are fairly unpredictable. They went 1-1. So if I was going to run a team, that's who I'd run. So I don't necessarily think it's always weakest. I think it's always a choice between do we open up strong or do we open up with a wild card?
Yeah.
And if both teams open up with a wild card, then things get really interesting.
Is that what you do for the LPL,
That's
Rusty?
my expectation.
Who's it going to be?
I heard the AHQs and I immediately was like, send out OMG. There's no way
right. All right.
There we go. First. You have the show match to begin with.
Yep. Well, we'll see whether they are going to be able to do it. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up for today. Of course, the semi-finals is going to kick off tomorrow at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So don't miss it. It's going to be fantastic. LPL taking on LMS. We'll see you there.